and 3 assembly members and 1 resident of Shama in the Western region have filed an ex parte motion at the Secondary High Court injuncting the confirmation exercise of a district chief executive nominee for the area, Ebenezer Dadzie. The plaintiffs want an interpretation of what happened at the last confirmation exercise of a nominee, where the Electoral Commission could not say whether the nominee was rejected outright or not. Eric J. is in Shama. He sent in this report.
Political analysts were right when they penciled Shama as one of the 4 districts here in the Western region where the president's nominee for MMDCE will have a tough time with his confirmation. The prediction has come into fruition. The president's nominee, Ebenezer Dadzie, was first rejected. Now, in his rejection, the electoral officer, district electoral officer, could not determine whether the nominee was rejected outright or not, because whilst she was about to announce that percentage, there were some uproar and disapproval, so she couldn't do that. This morning, we are told that some 3 assembly members of the House and a resident have filed an ex parte motion at a Secondary High Court seeking to injunct today's exercise. Now, what we are learning is that these persons are seeking interpretation as to whether the nominee was rejected outright or not. You can see behind me, this is the venue where the confirmation exercise will be held, and the vehicle for the regional minister is here. We've seen vehicles from other DCEs who were recently confirmed. Earlier, we spoke to the presiding member in his house, and he was actually on his way to the grounds. Honorable, you are looking all dressed up. Where are you going?
Oh, I'm heading towards that.
To do what?
For the confirmation of the president's nominee.
Really? But we are hearing that some colleagues of the assembly are trying to seek an injunction on today's exercise. Are you not aware? Have you not been served?
Yeah, I've been saved, and as you can see, there are copies too that he said. And when you look at the motion, that is a motion ex parte. When I spoke to the assembly's lawyer, the advice he gave is that when it's a motion of ex parte, that means that it is not a motion on notice.
In the last few minutes, there's been some development on this particular story. We understand the DCE nominee, Ebenezer Dadzie, has just been confirmed. And let's cross over now to Shama. My colleague, Eric J. is standing by. Eric, how did the Assembly go ahead to do the confirmation despite this ex parte motion injuncting the process?
Thank you very much, Kamala. So earlier, I spoke with the presiding member, Mark Akon, and he told me that they've sought advice from their legal counsel, and according to the advice, they can go ahead with this exercise because it's an ex parte motion, and the court is yet to decide whether it will grant their request for a restraining order, i.e. an injunction over this exercise. So for them, they will not flout any law should they go ahead with the confirmation exercise of the president's nominee, Mr. Ebenezer Dadzie. And about 30 minutes ago, he was confirmed. We were all outside when we heard cheers from within that the nominee has been confirmed. In fact, journalists who were here were prevented from entering the main auditorium where the confirmation exercise was being held. It was after the exercise that were granted access into the main auditorium. Before this exercise, 8 of the government appointees, they had their membership revoked and new members sworn in so that the exercise could continue. When we spoke with the regional EC director, Angelina Tego, and this is what she told us, Kamala.
21 people were present and they all voted in favor. They all voted in favor, so he had 100%.
I mean, you are the regional EC officer who have always advocated for transparent exercise to be done. Journalists were not allowed inside. How do you feel about that?
We were invited to come and conduct the election. So we conducted elections. So I was not even aware that the journalists were not allowed inside. I just got in and conducted the elections. I didn't even see that the journalist was not inside.
But were you aware of an ex parte motion?
No, I'm not aware of any.
You're not aware of any court?
No, I'm not aware of any court issue. You've not been served anything.
So, Eric, you have also been speaking to the minister. What has he been telling you?
So, Kamala, since this exercise started, I've witnessed almost all of them, especially those from Mpoho down to Wasa East. And I must confirm that this is one of the most hurriedly held confirmation exercises so far. Like I explained earlier, we were outside when we had the jubilation inside. We spoke with the Western Regional Minister, and he told me that that was not the case. The process started before some of the dignitaries entered. Let's listen to him.
The only thing we say is that we thank God that we've been successful with this election. Like we always say, ensure action and fanipa, dear Joe, fanipa. After speaking to them, after letting them understand that today is this 9, tomorrow it will be their 10. They need to assist so that we can move this district forward. You know, this district is becoming an industrial zone, and we need calmness to attract money into this zone. They've understood us. The first time we came, we had lots of problems, and these were problems. They are local problems, and we've been able to resolve them.
But this is one of the most hurriedly organized confirmation exercises that you have witnessed. We all have witnessed.
It's not true. It's not true at all. Because I spoke for more than 10 minutes inside. What happened was that they started some part of the process before I got in. The PM car got spot, so we had to get him a car to come. So we had to wait. So but before he came, we had done all the other things that were not consequential. Even the EC was late, so we were not in a hurry at all.
Journalists were not allowed in.
Oh, I'm not in the know of that, because when I started doing the interviews, journalists came in to do it. Yeah, I'm not seeing us, but there were journalists inside.
Really? Are you aware of any court issue around this confirmation exercise?
That have been served? No.
So what I saw was an ex parte motion.
Ex parte motion that a judge has not pronounced on it. It's not an ex parte motion. It's just somebody's client writing a letter.